Do you remember when you just had an argument with someone? You were asking this to yourself, why isn't that person listening to me what I have to say? Why isn't that person trying to understand me? So the reason why other person is not paying enough attention to you, maybe they have different upbringing, maybe they had their different reason for it. Maybe they are taught different because nobody is same. Everyone have their different opinions, their different beliefs, their different challenges and hardships in life. Everyone takes a different path. They look towards this world in their own different, distinct, unique perspective. Even if it is a slightly different path, but each and every single path is different from one another. But you can convince them into your own way of thinking. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how you can do that. We will go through each of the principles that I follow in my life one by one. So sit tight and listen carefully. If you want to take something away from this video, you must be a great listener. And you must be ready to implement the knowledge which you will receive from this video in your real life. Otherwise, this knowledge will be of no use. Even though if you might have read this book, you could still learn something new each and every single time you go through it. So let's start with principle number 1. Do not criticize, condemn, or complain. Now, to understand this point, you need to think, you need to sit and think for a bit. Why people do not like when you criticize them, condemn, or complain regarding anything that they did wrong? Why people hate that? So, before that, you need to see how humans actually think, how they have evolved. As a human being, we have this survival instinct by which we have this defensive side for ourselves. We do not want ourselves to be pointed out in front of others. We are social beings. So when you get criticized for anything that you do, when you get condemned for anything that you do, you would feel separate out from the rest of the people. That makes that person go to a defensive state, which makes them resentful. So the effective way here is to try to understand the other's perspective and show empathy towards them. Let me give you an example. If you criticize a colleague that works with you, that you have missed the deadline, that you didn't finish on time, you were late, you were this and that, what would end up happening is the colleague would put themselves on a defensive side, which would try to oppose you, anything you try to put on them, and make them more resentful towards you. So what you need to do is, instead of criticizing, condemn, or complain about any of these, what you can do is you can try to acknowledge them, what they have done actually. Maybe they face some challenges. Acknowledge those and suggest a way for them to improve next time, which will let them to produce a better outcome next time. You must need to learn patience. You must feel comfortable. You need to sit calmly. You need to do deep breathing. So see, this is how all the things which I teach you in my other videos like meditation and deep breathing help you to control yourself calmly in situations like this. So the next principle, give an honest and sincere appreciation. By this, what I mean is you don't need to flatter the other person, but instead you must give them a sincere appreciation. Let me give you an example. If a friend helps you with some project, instead of just replying with thanks, mention specifically how their input made a difference. Like the insights that you gave me really helped me with the project which I was doing. Your insights really clarified the direction for me. If you say this, the other person would like this 1,000 times more than just simple thanks, because like thanks is just general. If you just point out how these things which the other person taught you had changed your way of thinking or how they helped you in this project, if you mention this thing distinctively, that would create a genuine spot in the other person's mind for you. Listen, everyone craves appreciation in their life. Nobody wants to be useless. Everyone wants to be appreciated for what they have done. So you must be willing to give an honest and sincere appreciation to the other person. That would make other person like you even more. But you mustn't confuse appreciation with flattery. Flattery turns out to be more on the manipulative side. They would know that they are doing this on purpose. You must act in a subtle way. Next principle is arouse in the other person an eager want. Before you speak, you must ask yourself, how can I make this person really want to do it by himself instead of just forcefully implementing that on him? If you really want the other person like you more, if there is any one secret of success, then that's this. So it lies in the ability to think about things in the other person point of view. What would he think? What would she think? What would they think in that way? When you say something, try to go back to the other receiver side and see how would they think about this, how would they process this information, what thought would come to their mind after listening to this information. Do they like it? Do they didn't like what I have just said? Will the other person found this offensive? Will the other person take this as a compliment? See things from the other's perspective. Not only that, see things from your angle as well. Instead of threatening or forcing other person to do something, you must think it from the other person point of view. Arousing an eager want is also pretty much important in every other aspect of your life, especially in business. It's actually all about how company and businesses think. They don't build products just because why they like it. If they like this product, it's not like they would build that. The company doesn't build product for themselves. They build the product for the customer, what customers actually want. If you want people to act to your own beliefs and desire, what you need to do is you need to motivate them into acting that certain way. Frame your ideas in such a way that aligns with their desires. Have you ever really thought to yourself how these businesses actually work? How these businesses advertising work? They work by not showing how this product affects them, how this product helps them, but instead what they do is they show how this product is going to affect your life, the customer's life, yours life, how this product is beneficial for you, how this product would help you grow, how this product helps you beat other rest of the competition. That's what they show. Let me give you an example. If you want a coworker to help you with a task, instead of just straight asking for the help, what you could do is you would show them how if they help you, they would get advantage, they would get benefit from it for themselves. Explain how their involvement can enhance their visibility in the company rather than just asking for help. Because human being, we all are selfish to some extent. We all are selfish beings. So everyone thinks of their interest, like how doing that thing would help them. If that helps them in any way, they would do it. So you need to show them how doing this favor for you would help the other person. Now, next principle, become genuinely interested in the other people. What I mean by that is show genuine interest in others. First, it makes them feel valued and helps you build a deeper, more personal connection to that person. Let me give you an example. If you made a new friend or you have a colleague, instead of just only talking about yourself, you must listen to what other people actually have to say. If you are a good listener, people would simply like you more because everyone wants to express their feelings onto somebody, onto everyone else. That's what we usually do. So if you are a good listener, you listen to their problems, you listen to what they have to express, what they have to say. Simply by doing this, you would become a more likable person. This is the best way if you want to build a deeper, more personal connection to anyone. If you are in a business meeting and then there is one very successful entrepreneur, if you want to build a deeper connection with that person, you need to act in a subtle way. Go to that person and make that person to open up to you. You need to become a great listener at that point. You would learn something new, and then that person could express all their problems, what they love, what are their hobbies, and everything. In a meeting, everyone talks about their problems, but there is one guy. When he talks about the hobbies that he do, like painting or coloring or some woodwork, when you show a genuine interest in that person, You'd be like, there will be a spark in his eyes when you ask them, whoa, I like what you just said about your hobbies. What about it? Tell me more about that. When you ask them about this, then they would talk about the hobby that no one asked them. Only you asked about their hobbies, which they really wanted to talk about to someone. And you are the only person that asked that. So that would make you build a genuine, deeper connection with that particular person. You must be able to listen and care about the other person's interest. Now, the next principle is smile. You know, smile is a universal expression of goodwill. If you were to talk to a random stranger, would you want them to be serious all the time, or you would be more willing to talk to them if they had a smile, a genuine smile on their face while talking to you? So who do you think would who would want to talk to you more, for whom you would be willing to talk? A person with a great smile on his face, or the person who had a serious look on his face? When greeting someone, just smile warmly. What that would do is it would set up a tone for the entire conversation. If you are just a happy person, because everyone wants to stay with someone who is positive, who express their feelings in a positive way, who is happier most of the times, because usually people have their own set of problems, they feel negative all throughout the day. They would love to spend People would love to spend time with someone who is more cheerful, more pleasant, more charismatic, more happy, more positive. They want to spend time with that person. So have a genuine smile. A genuine smile can help you achieve that. Now, the next principle is, remember that a person's name to that person is the sweetest sound in any language. So what I mean by this is, using someone's name in mid conversation would make them pay you more attention. Plus, they would show you more respect because you called out with their actual names, which no one actually does these days. They just talk to each other in like more like in a formal way, or just didn't and people just don't even say each other's name in mid conversation. If you do that, you would stand out more. Similarly, in conversation, you have had that when someone calls your name, you become more attentive, and you like that other this person had called you out by your actual name, instead of just saying that it's nice to meet you, I really like talking to you. Instead, what you could say is, it's great to meet you, Sarah. These are some subtle things which you just miss out. Maybe you just unintentionally use these principles sometimes throughout your life, but you didn't know that these principles exist. So now, if you just try and implement all these principles in your life, that would actually make you a lovable person. You would be able to influence other friends and all people around you. That could generally change your life for good. Next is, be a good listener and encourage others to talk about themselves, because everybody these days, or usually as a human being, we love to talk about ourselves instead of just listening to others, because we always want to express what we are feeling. So it is for the best if you just listen more to the people instead of just speaking all about yourself. How you can do is, in a conversation, ask open-ended questions and listen attentively. If someone is talking about their weekend, ask them what they have enjoyed the most there. After they tell you the answer, ask question from their answers, like, did you like this food? If they said, I went there and I liked this food, I went to that particular beach, I went to visit this park. So what you could say is, did you like the park? What was in the park? Did you like the food? Did they have this? How were the people's dressing sense there? And you can make infinite number of questions from a answer. So you must need to think deep, and you must be smart. You need these things to be subtle, that nobody even knows that. Next is talk in terms of other person's interest. We have already discussed this before. If you know someone is passionate about a particular sport like football, basketball, so what you would do is in midst of the conversation, you can ask about that. How did your soccer practice last week go? How did your basketball match went? You can ask them about their particular interest, particular hobbies. It could be anything. Next principle is make the other person feel valued, and also you need to do it sincerely. Everyone wants to feel important, everyone wants to be valued. Sincerely acknowledging someone's worth build a stronger relationship. As a human being, we want to be valued. We want to have a significance in the society. So if you make someone more valued for anything, then they would feel more important, they would feel more recognized, and they will have feeling inside, who made me feel this much important, and your name would come up and they would like you more for that. That's how, when you give sincere appreciation, when you make other person feel important, they would know that you made them feel more important, even though they didn't feel like themselves that they are important. Maybe they feel like they are worthless, but if you still made them feel proud, make them feel valuable for who they are gonna like you even more. Now the next principle is the only way to get best out of an argument is just to simply avoid it. Arguments rarely change people's mind, their perspective, their beliefs, rarely. But what they actually do is arguments really damages people, relationships, their connections. It's better to find a common way and then agree to disagree. Remember when you had that argument with someone in the past, when you argued for some particular point. So even if you argued with them and even if you won the argument, you still lost them. Even if you have won the argument, but you still lost. How's that? Yeah. Do you really think after arguing, after proving your point and proving the other person that you are wrong, that they would happily submit to you, submit to your beliefs? Do you think that? Oh, I'm proved wrong. Yeah, you are right, man. I think you are right. You are absolutely right. I think I should do that and I will do that. Your opinion is correct. My opinion was trash. So I will follow you. Even if that person didn't have a strong belief to that particular opinion, but after this conversation, he would have a more deep reason to stick to that belief. So how you can avoid this? If a debate with a friend is escalating, steer the conversation toward understanding the other person's perspective instead of just trying to prove your point. Never try to prove your point in an argument, because if you try to prove your point forcefully, the other person is not going to submit to you. They would still have their own beliefs. They are not going to change it even if you prove them wrong or prove your own point, because people didn't like to be proved wrong, especially in front of a lot of people. So you must think carefully. You must try to understand the things from the other person's perspective, like I told you. Now, coming to the next principle. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and empathetically. Admitting to your mistakes builds trust and respect. It shows humility and integrity. If you make a mistake at work or anywhere else, instead of just proving that you didn't commit this mistake, this blaming that because of them this mistake happened, they did that, blaming others, you must first admit that you are wrong, you did this mistake by yourself. People love a person who is admitting to their mistakes and are willing to improve. Alright guys, I messed up here. I'm taking step to fix this problem, so you don't need to worry about it. I would all fix this by myself. That's how you apologize. You apologize for your mistakes that you actually did, instead of just blaming others. That would help you create a genuine image of you in the other person's mind. Now the next principle is begin in a friendly way. Start your conversation positively, which have a corporate tone. People are more likely to listen and agree when approached kindly and respectfully. No one wants to be approached in more aggressive and offensive manner. If you ever want to discuss a difficult issue, begin with a compliment or a positive remark like, I really appreciate your hard work on this, and I would like to talk about how we can improve things further. So, the next principle is get the other person saying yes, yes immediately by highlighting the points of agreement that we both agree to these things. Yeah, yeah, we both agree to this. Sun is very bright. Yeah, we both agree. Earth is round. We both agree. Yeah, yeah, make them to say yes. This creates a positive atmosphere in the conversation, and it makes the other person receptive to your ideas more. Simply like, if you like this movie and this person also like the movie, you say, if you want to prove a point, you can say that you like this movie. Yeah, yeah. You like, yes, I like this movie, and you can take conversation from there. Now let me give you an example. If you are negotiating with a project deadline, start by acknowledging the mutual goals that you have. You can say like, we both want to see this project succeed, right? We both want to see this grow. Like, we both want to go to the gym. Yeah. Do you want to improve your physique? Yes. Do you want to get fit? Yes. Do you want to eat healthy? Yes. Do you want to go to the gym? Yes. Now we will go to the gym? Yes. That's how you do it. Next principle is try honestly to see the things from the other's perspective. If you ever read this book, this is the most important principle throughout the book, which I implemented in my life, and it had worked wonders. It totally changed everything for me. This principle is very much important, so you need to implement this. It's not like you just listen to this, or just if you have read this book, it is not going to work by itself. You need to implement these things which I have taught you in this video in your real life. Otherwise this ain't gonna work for you. So, coming back to the principle, understanding things from the other person's perspective build empathy and cooperation. It is the key to resolving all the conflicts and building a rapport. This is how businesses work. This is how businesses operate. If they see a customer is upset with their product, instead of just blaming everything on the customer, what they do is they would try to introspect their problems that they have with their products. Instead of just blaming the customer and saying you did that, you did that, they introspect themselves. They introspect their product. If a customer is really upset, try to see this issue from their perspective. Try to resolve this issue from their perspective by saying that I can understand why this situation is frustrating to you, and we will try our best to resolve all your issues and worries, and let's try to find a solution together. That's how you operate. That's how you think from the other person's perspective. If you want them love you even more, that is the best principle that you can get, that you can learn from this video or from this book. So these are the most practical and most helpful information that you can get about influencing people and making new friends and win them over by your beliefs. Make them follow your beliefs and make them love you even more and more. If you want this information to really work wonder for you, what you need is you need to implement the things, all these principles that you have learned in this video in your real life. Like, you would stay who you are if you didn't take any actionable step. If you didn't just implement this knowledge that you have received through this video, you would stay wherever you are. So what you need is you need to implement this knowledge in your life, in real life situations, in your colleague, in your office, in your school, in your college, in your daily life, in your gym. This is how you approach people and make beliefs, make ideas, and change people's perspective towards life and make them believe in you and follow your beliefs. So I hope you get some knowledge through this video, and what I would recommend is you can buy the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, and you can read the book, and watch this video. You can first watch this video and then read the book. It will be just fine, and you can come back to this video over and over again. And every single time that you come back to this video, you are going to learn something new. The knowledge which you learn, you need to rewatch that knowledge to in order to save that knowledge in the subconscious part of your brain, so that you can retain that information for your lifetime.